A new report shows inflation is at its highest level since 1981. The cost of food, the cost of gas, just about everything else is much higher than this same time last year.
Senate Republicans blame the inflation on reckless spending by the Biden administration. Alex Cameron is following this story from our News on 6 Washington Bureau.
Well, President Biden says this level of inflation is unacceptable, but he sees a silver lining in the new numbers. Republicans, on the other hand, say this is just further proof that the president and Democrats are failing the American people.
This is the Biden economy.
At a news conference Wednesday, Senate Republicans made the case that as much as the president tries to blame inflation on the pandemic and the war in Ukraine, it comes down to how he responded to those events.
This economy that we have right now of 9.1% inflation is directly tied to the Democrat policies and the things that they have passed in the past year.
More than anything, Republicans say the Democrats' nearly $2 trillion American Rescue Plan overstimulated the economy, and they worry now about a renewed effort to pass Build Back Better, funded in part with higher taxes on businesses.
Tax increases would make inflation worse by further suppressing the supply side of the economy.
Traveling in the Middle East, the president acknowledged the problem, but pointed out that core inflation, which excludes the more volatile food and energy sectors, is coming down, and says the more inclusive 9.1% rate does not reflect the recent drop in gas prices. Those savings are providing important breathing room for American families, the president stated, and other commodities like wheat have fallen sharply since this report. Langford says that's little consolation to the Oklahomans who are having to spend about $600 more a month than a year ago for the same things.
They're falling farther and farther behind directly because of the policies that have been put in place by this administration.
And Langford added that the last time he was at that podium speaking on this subject a few months ago, the U.S. was generally alone in experiencing such high inflation. He says that is no longer the case, that many other countries are also seeing dramatic price increases, which he says are also the result of the Biden policies. In our Washington Bureau, I'm Oklahoma's own Alex Cameron.